What if someone gets a nudge, they're listening to the Soul Compass and they're like, okay, I need to do this, and they're in fear? Do you have any tips for someone that go, okay, I'm ready to listen, but oh my gosh, I just got this. Is this too scary for me to go ahead? What can they do to start or like to keep going?
I think it's as I said before, if you've got a little book and you just write down things that have dropped in or thoughts, and you act on little things, start gently, and then seeing the confirmation of what you've thought, or you know what I mean. Start really small, but writing it down, and then gradually just get more and more confident to trust it. I think if you go on the instincts with big decisions, there is fear in it because you're thinking about the consequences if that decision isn't a good one. So start very small, and I think that just it's like a muscle. It just develops, and you get more confident because you see the confirmations happening. And then that's really, I think, what I would say is just start very small and just writing things down, learning to trust yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is learning to trust yourself. Really is the key, and that takes time because most people want to have a validation from someone else. They want to put the decision or the responsibility in someone else's hands. It's easier to put it on someone else, but you have to learn confidence, and you have to take the consequences of the decisions and own it. I think that's where then you're not in a victim state. You're not blaming someone else. Like, okay, that didn't feel like a very good decision, but I'll learn from it, and I'll use that wisdom and experience from that decision to go forward. And I think it's always a gradual step by step, but you have to take ownership for the decision you make. And if it doesn't feel right, you just make a different one, and you just keep learning and keep growing the vessel, I would say.
I love the taking ownership part. That's something that I think people don't like to do because it's much easier to blame it on someone else than to take ownership. I wanted to ask you, how can people start taking ownership? Because, or like being aware, because I think a lot of times it's just so automatic to blame. Like, how can we start building that self responsibility and ownership?
You just have to make a decision to do it. I think there's no one else can do that for you. It's again, if you're awake and conscious of yourself, and your part is being connected to everything and everybody. So whatever you do has a knock-on effect, a ripple effect on everyone around you. It's making a conscious decision to take ownership and going, well, I'm not going to blame anyone else's decision. I am in full conscious awareness that I'm making it, and then you have to own it. I've definitely gone through that the hard way in various ways, but I learn from it. I've trusted myself more now because I've gone, okay, that wasn't a very good decision, and that certainly was not a good decision, but it was still my decision, and I've had to own the consequence of that. And I wasn't in that frame. I wasn't like that for a while. It was like I had to work my way out. I had to dig out of the hole, and go, I've got to climb out of this because I've made it. And I think that's part of life's experiences, that we will make mistakes. We will make decisions that are not probably the best ones. But as long as we take the learnings from it, we then take the next step forward.
Yeah.
But we have to take ownership. Radical self-responsibility, I call it.